welcome to the, I think this is the first session, the breakout. My name is Mulyadi. I will be the moderator. Good evening, good morning from everyone's from all different places.
Shall I start?
Okay, all right, I think we can start. Let me introduce you. Welcome everyone to the first session here. I have my friend Kalarav Vasavada from Brainwire. He's going to be presenting about cross-border e-commerce. Go ahead, Kalarav, your stage.
Thank you so much, Mulyadi, for introducing me. Thank you, everyone, for joining me in this session. Thank you so much, Magento Association, first of all, and whole team who has specially chosen my topic today for this session. I'm really thankful to everybody. Good morning, good evening to people across the world. Let me start quickly on the session. So I'm going to discuss today about the cross-border e-commerce, which is very much in demand right now in current era. And what are the benefits of cross-border commerce? What are the challenges associated with it? And how Adobe Commerce, a platform, can help us to establish the cross-border commerce. So to begin with, let me introduce myself very briefly. Myself, Kalarav Vasavada. I'm working as a delivery manager in a Brainwire Infotech, having a 15 plus years of experience, and I'm a certified Scrum Master and certified Adobe Professional Developer and certified business practitioner. I love to play with e-commerce domain. I love to do the innovations in e-commerce itself. So I have helped many of my customers and clients to scale up their business to the next level with various ideas and suggestions from my side and from my team side. I love to do the knowledge sharing and helping the community to gain various insights about the business. So I have trained indirectly around 200 plus e-commerce enthusiasts in my guidance, in my leadership. About the company, so Brainwire, I'm working with Brainwire for more than 9 years, I can say. So Brainwire is a digital solution provider, digital solution partner of all the customers. We are a sustainable data driven digital engineering solution company having a 20 plus years of experience and having 21 plus offices situated globally, and more than 95 customers. We are having a retention, customer retention, so we never lose most of our customers and they are stay with us. That's the kind of services we provide, and we have done a lot many projects, having a group of companies who work into ERP, CRM, and analytics itself. So about the e-commerce and the growth projection. So everyone knows since the year of pandemic starts, everybody wanted to still do the shopping and everything. So they turned to the e-commerce, and e-commerce growth projections, as you can see into the graph, is constantly increasing since 2021. So in the 22, you can definitely see the in-store growth itself was in negative, while in the e-commerce growth was in very much positive. So looking at this aspect, many of the merchants have started their brick and mortar store to the e-commerce store. Now, today we will be discussing about the cross-border e-commerce. So what is cross-border e-commerce? Let's first understand that. So cross-border e-commerce is nothing but you selling your goods from your local website to another country, to the foreign soil. It is called cross-border e-commerce. So many of the customers who wanted to sell their products to the cross countries, they can go with the cross-border e-commerce and make their sell globally to the worldwide. It has gained huge momentum in last few years, and customers have made products purchased from the outside of their borders. It can be associated with B2C, B2B, and C2C. So businesses or the brands directly can connect to their consumers, sell to their customers. Even the major businesses, the wholesalers, can connect to their merchants or to the vendors and can make their selling very easy. They can go with the platforms like Amazon, eBay, Walmart, and via that they can also place their products onto the platforms to make their sales easy across the globe itself. So the cross-border e-commerce is also known as international commerce, where cross border means geographical boundaries cannot be a boundary for making the business. You can have all the ability to sell your products everywhere into the world. Why we should go with the cross border e-commerce? Because there are least of benefits associated with that. You can have a very global market. I mean, you are not restricted your products and selling your products into the very local market. You are going across the regions, across the continents, and you can sell anywhere into your market, and your customer reach can be increased. So that way you can have large number of consumers and customers. You can that way increase your sales and hence increase the revenue itself. Your brand visibility can be also increased. Let's say even if you are situated into Asia Pacific as a vendor or as a product manufacturer, but if you are selling globally, then you can reach to the customer into USA, UK, Africa, Middle East, anywhere, and you can sell your product. So that way you can get the competitive advantages of across the globe, and you can reach to the many more customers. For that, yes, you need to go with couple of features which are benefits. You can say consider it as multiple currencies, so you can have multi-currency concept onto the same. Multiple tax support you need to provide, because every country will have their different taxation system. You need to go with the multi-language support in your system what you are establishing, because customers would be preferring the local native language whenever they are making any website search or whenever they are looking for the website. So those who understand English, for them it would be pretty fine, but there are many areas or many places into the world where customers are not still English techno savvy, and they would like to go with the local native language. So multi-language support in your website is must in order to have cross-border e-commerce. AI translations. So yes, I mean, based on your geographical locations, the language content can be translated using the artificial intelligence, and artificial intelligence has a vital role in e-commerce itself, which I will be talking for moving forward into the further slides, and how it can be correlated for making your business growing upscale and growing vertically itself. Multi-site support, yes, you can create multiple websites for different horizons and different regions, so you can create the multiple websites accordingly. Why now we have seen like there are benefits, so definitely we need to see how we can expand internationally. And for here I have done some R&D and research. Based on the same, I have come across the couple of statistical data. So 27% of US buyers have claimed that they purchase domestically and internationally. And so if you go with the different regions, so like if in US it is around 27%, but if you talk about Austria, if you talk about Australia, if you talk about other countries, then the number is really high. Like 71% of shoppers have made this shopping across the world. So definitely over here there is a huge chance that if you set up yourself as a cross-border setup, then you will get a very good momentum, and your customers reach will be definitely increasing. So this is definitely not a new thing. Yeah, it was in place since last few years, but yes, in the current era the demands are increasing because the supply chain management have been become very much easier. The shipping companies are helping us a lot to make the shipping and everything very easy. So moving forward in the slides, I will be talking about all those things which you need to take care. But just to give a brief idea and heads up, like you should be thinking about the payment methods, which payment methods you should be going with, because your payment method and payment processor should be well versed with the different countries. Your shipping should be very much faster, and customers should be able to see the products, I mean get the product on their doorsteps very easily. The shipping pricing and everything should be very competitive, because I mean if you are making a cross border shipping, the prices should not be as high, or it should be a very minimal or a competitive price. Then only customer is going to make the product purchase, and you can deliver the product to your customer's doorstep. And yes, last but not the least, the taxation and the customs, which are the crucial part in order to make this process successful, because whenever you are sending any product to any other country, so you need to understand about the taxation rules and everything for that specific country, and then you can do the deliverable of the products. So, I mean, this process of cross-border e-commerce are already being in place with the marketplaces like Amazon, eBay, and they are doing the most basic way for cross-border selling. Now, when I have showcased you the benefits of the same, when I have shown you advantages of going the international selling, so how you will decide whether I should go with the cross-border commerce or not? So it is definitely a great approach to expand your customer base, increase the sales and revenue. So I mean, you can start right away for the same. You can go with the website, you can go with the mobile applications and everything, and allow your customer to place the order. You need to, as a vendor or as a consumer or a merchant, you need to think about the logistics, the delivery management associated with this product. And most of the companies are accepting this challenging nowadays, how to deliver these services or the products fast and on time. And for that, they are focusing on creating the different solutions which are fit into the local market and improving the sales and satisfaction of the customers. Because in e-commerce world, the satisfaction of customer is most important thing in order to increase the sales, because that will only give you the retention customers, and retention customers will give the good business and revenue itself. So as shown over here, like 67% of shoppers contribute around 10% of their monthly online spending towards cross-border commerce. So this number is quite good in order to achieve the good sales and revenue. So how these cross-border sales help into our business growth? So as shown over here by DHL, they have done the very nice analysis of the same, and the report itself shows like there are various aspects which you need to take care in order to make your growth faster. And I mean, around 71% of retailers expect that the cross-border revenue get grow into the future itself. So that's a very nice, like US, UK, and China has accounted almost for 60% of all cross-border e-commerce supply, and 30% of them into the demand. So every country in your list has a potential to open up the new doors and a company's growth and revenue. So for example, if you are associated and situated into APEC, and if you wanted to do the business into the UK or US, then you need to identify a place into APEC where you can set up your warehouses, where you can set up your logistics systems and everything, so that your taxations and your traveling cost and everything can be bare minimum, and then you can enjoy the breath of fresh air from your firm that required to achieve new heights into the sales. So Ken Allen, who is working as a executive research into DHL Express, has said going global and going premium is an opportunity for retailers in all markets. So definitely we as a customer, we as a merchant need to think how to go global and how to sell the premium things in order to make your customer success for the same. What is the importance of cross-border trading in international sales? So that will give you international market insights and countries economic progress, like whatever countries are fastest growing countries. So we can talk about the countries like India, China, where the customers are nowadays turning towards the e-commerce more. So I mean, these are the places where you can attract more of your customers, and people are also buying from the different regions about the branded products from USA, UK, and they are still getting delivered onto their doorstep. So there are a lot of advantages associated with that. It is just we need to make sure that the product price we have to keep competitive, because they will be always expecting to see the product price into their native currency itself. So if a person who is buying from USA, and if he's and the product is being sold from, let's say, UK, and if a person is seeing price into pound, he might be frustrated. He might not be happy seeing the price into pound, because then he might have to do the conversions and everything by himself. So instead, like if there are a currency conversion functionality available onto the website, they can see the product price into their own currency, and based on the same they can have the idea like what will be the charges and everything, and what will be the ended cost on which they will get the product itself. So for the small traders, the international commerce or cross-border commerce is still challenging, because they have to take care about logistics, freight cost, and administrative fees and everything, border expenditure, and all these things they have to take into consideration. They have to see what are all associated things into the same. So for SME and for small scale companies, these all things they have to take into the consideration before going for the same. Let's say if you are selling a product into Egypt or even in China or Asia specific, so everybody has their own laws. Even European and US is it's having their own privacy shield, and even they are thinking for their GDPR ratio and everything. So all these things needs to be considered into the same aspect. Now, how Adobe Commerce can help for the cross-border commerce? So far what I have discussed was little bit of business related track. Now, from the technical aspects, I mean, Adobe Commerce itself is having a couple of extensions or couple of modules which are available to allow set up the cross-border commerce. So I will talk about couple of things which are available by default into the Adobe Commerce as a settings into the configurations. So there is a cross-border trade functionality which is available. You just need to make it enable, so that way you can manage your profit margin changes and tax rate itself. And your profit is being determined with the formula revenue subtracted by customer weight and cost of goods what is being sold. There are shipping systems like UPS, DHL, with FedEx, ship stations. So all these are shipping related tools which are providing you a best facility and possibility to distribute and sell your product to the customer doorstep by making the competitive shipping pricing and everything. And they are taking care of your all shipping systems itself with the competitive price. And the tools like custom carrier trackers or even Zonos are allowing you to check about the taxation and everything onto the system itself for the cross country, how to manage the same. One part of the same is conversational commerce. So conversational commerce is nothing but like a customer who are now communicating or discussing on the chat with the merchant itself, and from the same like they can understand about the product. So the conversational commerce is also getting a huge importance nowadays, so that they are also understanding the product, and the merchant who are selling the product can help into the chat or via chat bots or something. They can introduce their product well versed onto the same. Yes. So, I mean, we do not just need to see the goody side about the cross-border commerce itself. There are risks also associated with the same. So we must understand about these risks as a business persons or as a merchant, what things we need to take care about the same. So there are many platforms and applications which are available for the same to provide the cross-border commerce features, but not any 100% guarantee or consistency guarantee anybody can give. So there are chances of inconsistent to the same. You need to make sure your payment solutions, your shipping solutions, and your taxation systems are in place and which is working pretty fine. Payment is the core aspect because there should not be any fraudulent payment or fraud transactions happens on your system. Otherwise, customer will lose interest or confidence about your portal. Logistics and reverse logistics, yes, whenever your product is being sold to the customer, how it is being reached to them, and if they wanted to return, you should have your reverse logistics available as well. So cross border countries, when you are selling your product, you should have a proper mechanism how you can get that back and what all the charges applicable with the same. You have to be ready to bear those charges because you cannot rely for all those charges on your customers. And yes, local government and taxation regulations, which are very crucial part, because you cannot sell any of your product to any country without proper permissions and everything. You need to have proper taxation understanding about the same. So I will go further and showcase you the solutions, because you as a merchant might not have idea like what all taxation rules are applicable into cross countries. So how to deal with that and how to solve the problems, that I will be showing you in the further slides. So there are a couple of other platforms apart from Adobe Commerce, which are Shopify Plus, BigCommerce, which you can consider for the implementation of cross-border commerce itself. And in Europe, there are a couple of sellers who are already dealing with the cross-border selling. So to name them, it is IKEA, H&M, Lego, Zara, Euronics. These are very popular brands who have done the cross-border selling. And as you can see into the graph, so their sales have been amazingly increased year on year, and it has been reached up to around $900 billion. So for the payment options, which I mentioned is a very crucial part. So in the payment options, you can think about wire transfer, you can think about the payment via credit cards, forex, and digital wallets, and this will save yourself as a merchant from the fraud protections, because in credit card, forex card, and digital wallets, I mean, there are centralized banking entity which is available, and they are making sure that the transactions which are being happened are very much secure, and your payment gateway should be available to facilitate wide range of payment and currency settlement, because you might be from a different country, your bank or a merchant might be in a different country, and their currency transactions are different. So you need to also think about the transaction charges whenever the currency conversion happen. So all these charges also needs to be considered over the same, and for that, like, there are various regulatory or authorities available. So in European region, it is like SEPA, which is single euro payment area. It was created by European region to simplify the payment system. Similarly, you need to check about all the payment service providers who are offering the secure and global payment gateway to grow internationally. And apart from that, yes, you can think about the DLT, which is decentralized ledger technology, blockchain technology, because that all gives you very easy aspect of transactions. You do not need to think about the banking or anything. You can have a open banking program, APIs, and everything, where you can connect even Mastercard Send, which is very much popular nowadays, which does not require bank's account system. So no routing, no account number is needed. They can directly do the real-time cross-border payment using the recipient's debit card number itself. So it has very much ease of use and better customer experience to make it more convenient. So for cross-border taxations, we can think about the tools like Zonos, which I mentioned earlier, Techstar, and Avalara. So these are the specific extensions which are available and associated with Adobe Commerce, and they provide all the best benefits to tackle care of the taxation systems. You need to have HS code associated with each of your product, because whenever your shipment arrives to any country, so it is being checked based on that HS code, and if it is the correct code, then only it is being passed further and sent to the customers. Otherwise it might get returned or it might get trapped in between. And you need to also take care about all the goods service tax, sales tax, VAT, and cross-border tax which are applicable for that specific product. So I mean, if you are going with these extensions, it is definitely going to help you in removing your manual drain from filing the remittance and taking care about your taxation system by yourself. So as I mentioned, clear customs and manage hidden costs. So whenever your parcel is being delivered to any other country, so what things you need to take care while doing this cross-border business? So you need to make sure whatever invoices you are having, it has to be clearly visible onto the package itself. The invoice must consist of below things like unit price, total price, shipping cost, which is charged to the customer, and what is the total commercial value, and country of origin, so from where the parcel or product is being dispatched. And yes, HS code. So HS code is the important thing, because based on the same, all the governments or the custom teams are getting idea like what is this package is all about, and if they found it as something suspicious, they might open it and then just take audit of the same. Otherwise they do not open, but just based on the HS code itself, they make sure that all the taxation and everything is properly filled, then that product is easily being sold to the customer. So I mean, you have to make sure the all paperwork and all the duties are being paid. Otherwise you might fall into the trap for the same. So there are a couple of tools which we have to consider for this cross-border commerce, which are like Google Analytics, Facebook Insight. So using this, you can get an idea like which customer base you need to reach. Based on this survey, you can identify which customer you can target. International location targeting you can set, and with the multi-language and multi-country lookalike audiences. So these are all available things into the Facebook Analytics and Facebook marketing itself. So you can utilize all these tools and make your customer reach more into different geographic locations. Now let's talk about a little bit brief in terms of artificial intelligence and its usage into cross-border commerce. So image what I have represented over here might be familiar with many of the people, because in last year it was Suez Jam. Many are familiar about this, like that a ship was stuck in between in Egypt, and things were not moving for a few days, and everything was standstill. So how artificial intelligence helps over here is artificial intelligence can make sure that uh, wherever your supply chain management is happening, so you can get an idea like where your customer or base you need to identify, and from how you can easily make sure your supply chain management to make the decision making and everything. So if your system itself is working as a human brain and giving you idea like, okay, this is the part where you can do the shipment and process easily, then you are free to think about other things and make sure your process is very easy. So in artificial intelligence about the e-commerce, you can say like you can think about the analytics of a product. You can have intelligent demand forecasting, like which customer base or which specific country has which product demand, and based on the same you can allow the product with the intelligent pricing, and you can have personalized product recommendation, so that it will be really helpful to them. Definitely, AI is the new next gen things, and investment into the same is surging. So by 22, it's going around $5-7 billion into the moving forward in 2025. So definitely, AI we need to think product recommendation. It is definitely one of the best aspect, because customer if see like how that product is shoot onto their body or on their fitting, then they will definitely chances that they will consider that product for more purchase itself. Couple of tools which are being provided by Adobe itself. So Adobe Sensei, which is very much important tool for the artificial intelligence. With that, you can give a good idea to customer with the insight of search, and there are a couple of analysis which is also available. Like customer who bought this product has other products which is being bought by them. You can give the recommendations, and that way you can boost the revenue to automate the shopping process. So these are a couple of benefits in terms of increasing the productivity, revenue, and predictive analysis with the artificial intelligence. So thank you so much. In a nutshell, what we have learned so far is completely controlling your business of cross-border commerce with various websites, booking the scheduling, and campaign management with the multi-channel distribution. You can do that. There are payment and shipping options you need to think about across the world, and the shipment, artificial intelligence, and taxations related thing you need to take care in order to make your e-commerce business successful for the cross-border commerce. Thank you so much for being a nice audience and listening me. You can go with your question and answer. I will be happy to answer the same.
Thanks, Kalarav. That's such a very insightful sharing from you. For the audience, if you have any questions, you can type it on the Q&A tab on your right-hand side. I'm more than happy to moderate the questions for Kalarav. I think we have still 1 minute to the sessions before the session ends. But it's so true, Kalarav. I mean, especially when talking about local payment, right? That being like for us in our country, a credit card is only less than 4% as far as like the main
Yeah.
payment options for e-commerce, and definitely have able to understand what the local payments availability and then working with the right partner,
Yeah.
local bank and stuff like that is very important.
So not many payment options are available across the globe. So you need to think like which are available in across the globe, and there are. It is not again easy to associated with all those payment processors and payment mechanism, because there are lengthier process that you need to follow as a merchant to sign up for them, and then you have to take them onto the board, and that way you can make the payment process properly. Yes, Nitesh, thank you so
Hmm.
much for your questions. So, what is the best architecture or a way to set up multi-country shopping experience in a single Adobe Commerce platform? Yeah, I mean, so for multi-country, if you wanted to go, you can do it with one website itself, or and if you wanted to keep product price specific to the country, you can set up multiple websites into the Adobe Commerce platform, because Adobe Commerce platform, the product price is on a website level scope itself. So you can go with the multiple website. But yes, if you wanted to have the same price, just a different currency, you can go with the same website. I mean, one website setup in terms of architecture, and you can have multi-currency support over there enabled. So the currency will be just converted into the local currency. Otherwise, everything else will remain same. But if you wanted to sell that product into different price, let's say in India wanted to sell on a different price, in US different, and UK different, then you might have to set up three different website in terms of website architecture from Adobe Commerce perspective.
All right. Okay, I think we are at the end of the session. Thank you so much again, Kalarav, and thank you for everyone that stay in this
Thank you,
session.
everyone.
I'll
Yeah,
see
thank
you
you,
around on the
Malayali.
other sessions.
Have a good day. Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Yeah, bye. Bye bye.